Future Music.
What's up? Coming at y'all with another video. And today's topic, I always wanted to talk about this because, and I'm sure some of the other producers that may come across this video can relate to this, but I, from time to time, especially on this channel, on Instagram, on TikTok, on all these social platforms, I may post a beat making video, and in the comments, I'm going to see an artist that says, "Hey, let's work. Let's make a EP or an album together, or I'm gonna pay you back on the back end." And for a beat maker, for a producer, like, some people may do this as a hobby, and that's cool if you do. But then a lot of other producers don't necessarily do this as a hobby. Like, for us, this could be somebody's primary source of income, or if you have a 9 to 5 job, this could be like something that supplements whatever you make on your 9 to 5 job. Maybe you have aspirations to, or you're working towards leaving that 9 to 5 job, and you're just trying to do good business. So a lot of, like, artists, and it's not everybody. There are a lot of artists that invest in themselves. There are artists that pay for studio time, or maybe if you don't pay for studio time, you saved your money and you put together your own home studio. You bought your own microphone, your own audio interface, your headphones, your microphone, and you got your home studio set up. And aside from that, other expenses artists might have are going to be paying, as I said, for that studio time. What if you want to shoot a video for that song? And then, in reference to the studio time, the engineering. And then you won't have a song without an instrumental. So you should pay your producer as well. Now, I only say that, to kind of tie into the artists who talk about, let's work. I'm gonna pay you back on the back end, and what's the other one? Let's come out with a project. And usually when I get comments like that, I always direct them to the website. So I don't do free beats. Never have. The only time I will do free beats is if it's an artist that we've already worked together, and maybe they bought beats from me in the past, and I see that they regularly release music and they're active, and on the flip side of that, you see artists who are just the opposite of that. So I'll go on their Instagram page. I might see one song that was recorded and not mixed down properly. They got it on SoundCloud or YouTube, whatever the case may be, and they don't really have a lot there about themselves. So one, why would I want to give a free beat to someone like that? Like, it's basically not gonna go anywhere. I've just wasted my time sending and creating. But there may be artists who, kind of like I was saying, they regularly support what I do, so I don't mind sending them free beats. Especially, it might be a situation where on my website, like, I have over 300 beats to choose from, but like, before I upload a new instrumental to my page, I may send it to somebody first to see if they're interested in it, and if not, then I'll upload it. But like, that's usually the only people that I send free instrumentals to. Outside of that, every producer, every beat maker, you're a business at that point. Once you decide to get into this, you're a business. And there are some people that might make instrumentals as a hobby. no knock to you, but the majority of people I know, they're doing music in addition to working a 9 to 5 job. So they have aspirations at some point in walking away from their 9 to 5 job. So they operate as a business entity. So why would they want to give something that they spent time working on in addition to all the investments that they've made, whether it's the computer that they've purchased to make the beat, in addition to the software, in addition to the MIDI keyboards. What if you're using hardware as well? Like, what if you have a standalone MPC, for example, that you used to make your beats on? And in addition to that, I mean, there's other investments that we have, like if you have BeatStars or Airbit, for example. Those are platforms that allow producers to go on and sell their beats, but you have to have a membership, so that's a monthly investment. Now, when it comes to producers, like I did another video on this, and there was a artist that says that producers don't invest in themselves the way that artists do, which I think is just bullshit. Like producers have to be the most, I think, undervalued role in the music industry, especially at this independent level. But a lot of artists think that just because you make the beat, you're not really investing into the song. Well, if you don't have a instrumental, you don't have a song. So for me, and most producers will say that, but you are the composer of this instrumental, right after you make it, and then that's whether that's whether the artist purchases this instrumental as a lease or an exclusive. You are still the composer, so yes, you should get your royalties off of that song, but that's a whole nother topic I did another video on. But approaching a producer to work for the first time, maybe you're an up and coming artist and you're looking to work with a producer. You might be finally ready to take that first step. Now, I can't, again, speak for any of the other producers out there as far as, how it is to approach them or how it should be to approach them. But if you're an up and coming artist and you want to work with somebody, a better response than I'm going to pay you back on the back end, or, let's work, or whatever that may be, would be, well, as an artist, how can I work with you as a producer? Now, how hard was that? And my reply to that question would be, well, artist, rapper, I offer 2 ways to work. Now, I offer leases at X amount of dollars, and I also offer exclusive pricing. Here's the difference. I have another video, by the way, explaining the difference on those. I have another video, by the way, explaining the difference between those two. So, if you want to purchase a lease, this is the amount. If you want to purchase an exclusive, this is the amount. Something else that gets in the way of artists purchasing instrumentals from producers is they don't want to purchase a lease. So they want a free beat, but they want the beat exclusively. And that is just also something that any smart producer that knows the difference between leases and exclusives and how the music business actually works would never let happen. Like, I don't know anybody out of all the beat makers that I know that is going to give away a free exclusive to just Joe Blow that has never put out a project ever in his life. Now, I think also, that being said, leases allow other artists to use the same instrumental. But that should never stop you from coming out with your own album, or whatever that may be. You might you see what a lot of people get lost in the shuffle is, even though somebody else is rapping over this. I mean, let's just say, for example, you get a producer or beat maker that has beat leases for like $20 to $25. So if you come out with a 5 track EP at $20 a pop, that's $100 right there, or 125 if you have the $25 leases. Let's just say that. So for $125, you just came out with your own EP that probably didn't take you that long, because you just bought leases along the way. And I mean, you really think about that. A lot of artists, they talk about it's expensive to do this craft. Well, if I get paid, let's say if I get paid for 5 months, and I don't know, on average, if you get paid every 2 weeks, um, that might be twice a month. Maybe, you might have a situation where you get 3 checks within a month. But let's just say hypothetically you do that. So 5 months go by. You buy one beat a month every month for 5 months. Well, you just got your EP done that way. Now, I didn't talk about, including all of the other um, investments that you have to make along the way. But I just pointed out that 5 months, you got a whole EP done. Now, that is something that you're going to feel good about, and you don't have to worry about, like, going by each producer and asking, oh, could I have this beat free? Could I have that beat free? Now, that's in terms of, like, asking a producer, how can we work together? That's the way that I would approach it. I wouldn't approach it saying, let's work, or, man, maybe we should come out with an EP together, and I know nothing about you. Another way would simply just be, well, what are your instrumentals priced at? Like, how do you operate? And, in my personal case, it is a $25 lease, and then the other way is it's kind of a case by case basis in terms of exclusives. It depends on the budget of that artist, or maybe that artist is from a record label. So that's where we kind of talk a little bit further. Now, let's just say, for example, if I get an artist and maybe they say, okay, well, um, your exclusives are $300. All right, maybe I don't have $300, but maybe I have 200. So they just made me an offer. Now, me personally, I'm also still good with that, because you didn't just come up to me and just, like, hey man, let's work. Like, I'm just gonna say let's work. Now, the other side to it is artists will talk about, well, he's never produced for this major artist or that major artist. But if you go back and look at some of these producers' track records that you're asking, they have put in, even though they haven't produced for a major artist, they've still put in the time and the investment in their craft, so they can charge anything if they want to charge you $1,000 for an instrumental. That's totally their right. But it's that artist who they haven't really done. Now, there may be times where you you have an artist who they've also spent some years building a name for themselves, and maybe that artist follows that producer and reaches out that way, and they think it's a mutually beneficial agreement for both parties to work together, without this artist buying beats from this producer. Maybe they come up with something saying, okay, well, we make this EP and we split it 50-50 down the middle. Well, that's totally okay, because they both, as an artist and producer, have worked enough over time to actually develop a name and build up their brand. So it might be a mutually beneficial agreement to create this project together. So you don't have one person that's trying to, grow off of somebody else's name and somebody else's hard work, because all that stuff does matter. Like, even if you've never produced for a major artist, if you've been putting in the work for years and you got a track record, like maybe you've built your YouTube and your Instagram and your TikTok up, and I know a lot of people, for example, they just repost shit because they got a large following, and that's kind of like promoting music. So I look at it kind of like that, where why would I want to have somebody else use my name to help promote themselves, or why would I want to help promote somebody who I don't think that has been putting in as much work as myself over the years? No, I'm not gonna do that. So um, but I mean, if there was a time where I felt like, maybe we've both kind of established ourselves, whether it's online or locally or whatever that looks like. But I think working together will be beneficial to the both of us. So I would get into a an agreement, or a business relationship like that. But as far as like, let's work with somebody who they they got a song on SoundCloud or YouTube that got 20 listens, and they got less than 100 followers, and it's just kind of more of a hobby for them. Chances are I won't be working with you. Now, I didn't want to make this a long video. I just want to really talk about how I would approach a producer or a beat maker if I wanted to work with them. And me also being a producer that also is an artist, I have bought beats from other producers before. And I've just went onto BeatStars. I've listened to whatever I was interested in, and I just bought it right there on the spot. There was no like me going onto Instagram and DMing a producer, "Hey man, let's work. Here's who I am." No, I didn't do that. I just went on BeatStars, bought the beat, and that was it. I respect the craft too much as a producer, as somebody that's been doing this as long as I have, for me to go at somebody else that way. I think it's actually disrespectful. You're not respecting that hard work that individual has put in over that time. Just going right up to them and let's work, or let's make a EP together. Well, why? Who are you? So, that's all I wanted to talk about on this. I don't know if I'll call these podcasts shorts, or if I would just go back to doing these videos kind of like this that don't last too long and just spitting out some thoughts. But yeah, I mean, don't be approaching producers and beat makers with "let's work" and let's make some money on the back end, especially if that producer or beat maker don't know who the hell you are. That's all I wanted to come on and talk about. I haven't made one of these videos in quite some time, and I said I was going to start doing these more often, just to talk about some of the topics. It could be something that I see online, or something that is trending in the music industry. I'm going to try to make more videos about this, just expressing my thoughts going forward. So if you like this video, you could actually go ahead, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram at d._major music. Same thing on TikTok, and if you use Threads, you could also follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at d.mme. And stay tuned for new episodes of the Major Music Lounge podcast, not just here on YouTube, but all podcast streaming platforms. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to keep these coming. And until next time, I'm out.
I move different, ride smooth, time to merge lanes. Many come and go, this life in this rap game. I move different, ride smooth, time to merge lanes. I just wanna get paid, you can have fame. I move different, ride smooth, time to merge lanes. Many come and go, this life in this rap game. I move different, ride smooth, time to merge lanes. I just wanna get paid, you can have the fame.